Welcome back to Tungal College online classes. Hello students, how are you all? Today's topic is electrolytic cell and electrolysis. First let us look into the what is electrolysis. Electrolysis is defined as the decomposition of electrolyte into its constant elements by passing current is called as electrolysis. What is the meaning of this statement? Let us understand by taking an example. I am taking potassium chloride KCl in molten state. I took potassium chloride in molten state. This potassium chloride dissociated into K plus ions plus Cl minus ions. Here K plus is a cation, nothing but a positive ion. Cl minus is a negative ion, nothing but anion. K plus is cation, Cl minus is anion. Cations has a positive charge and anions carries negative charge. Through this molten KCl, if we pass the current, through this molten KCl, if we pass the current, we will get the product. One is potassium and the second one is chlorine, half Cl2. So this is the solid form, this is a gaseous form. Here is we got potassium ion, but here is a potassium element. So K plus converting into potassium element. This is ion, this is element. Here is a Cl minus ion, ion converting into it element. Here is chlorine. So these two are elements. So by passing currents, ions are converting into their respective elements. So by taking this, we can define electrolysis as the decomposition of electrolyte into its constant elements by passing current is called as electrolysis. I am defining one more. The decomposition of electrolyte into its constant elements by passing current is called as electrolysis. Now the cell in which electrolysis is carried out, is called as electrolytic cell. The cell in which electrolysis is carried out is called as a electrolytic cell. Now let us look into the construction of electrolytic cell. Right, electrolytic cell consists of two electrodes. This is one electrode. This is one electrode, and this is another electrode. Electrolytic cell consists of two electrodes. An electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. An electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery is called as anode. So anode is an electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. An electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. This is the negative terminal. An electrode which is connected to negative terminal of the battery is called as a cathode. So this is the anode and this is the cathode. An electrode which is connected to positive terminal of the battery is called as a anode. An electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called as a cathode. So these two electrodes we have to dip in electrolytic substance. So this is a electrolyte. So electrodes are dipped in electrolytes. This is the battery. So this is the construction of electrolytic cell. So from the battery, if we pass the electric current into this electrolytic solution, the electrolytes decompose and gives their respective the constant elements. Here is if you take the KCl here, if you take the KCl dissociated K plus as well as Cl minus, So K plus is a cation, and Cl minus is anion. So cathode is negative charge. cation is positive, cathode is negative. Look at here, cathode is negative. When the electric current is passed through this electrolytic solution, then cations migrated towards cathode. Very, very important point. Cations moves towards cathode, anions migrated towards anode. Cations migrate towards cathode, cations migrate towards cathode, anions migrate towards anode. Because cations has positive charge, this will migrate to cathode. Cations migrate to cathode. Cathode has which charge? Negative charge. Cathode is negative charge. And anion migrates towards anode. Anion is negative charge, anode is positive. Very, very important points. So when electric current is passed through the electrolytic solution like this, then this electrolytic substance contains the positive ions as well as the negative ions. Positive ions are called as cations, negative ions is called as anions. Cations migrate towards the cathode because cations has the positive charge and cathode is the negative charge. Cations migrate towards the cathode and anions migrates towards the anode. So cations migrate towards cathode and discharges there, deposited upon the cathode, and anion migrate towards the anode, they can discharge there. So in this case, in this reaction, in this electrolytic cell, the electrical energy, we are passing electrical energy converting into chemical energy. In electrolytic cell, electrical energy converting into chemical energy. In galvanic cell is opposite, chemical energy converting into electrical energy. So this is the electrolytic cell. Let us write the points relating to it. The first point, definition of electrolysis. Definition of electrolysis: the decomposition of electrolyte into its constant elements, the decomposition of electrolyte into constant elements by passing current is called electrolysis. The decomposition of electrolyte into constant elements by passing current is called as electrolysis. This is the definition of electrolysis. Next point, the cell in which electrolysis is carried out is called as electrolytic cell. The cell in which electrolysis carried out is called electrolytic cell. This is the second point. Next point, in electrolytic cell, electrical energy converting into chemical energy. In electrolytic cell, electrical energy converted into chemical energy. Electrical energy converting into chemical energy. And another important point is in electrolytic process, cations migrate towards cathode. This is very, very important point. So this is here we have the cations migrate towards cathode and they will discharge here. Potassium will be deposited in the form of K. And anion Cl- will migrate towards anode. Here is. And chlorine gas will be liberates here. Chlorine gas will be discharges here. So cations migrate towards cathode, anions migrate towards anode. This point you have to keep in your mind. So write the point. In electrolysis process, cations migrates towards cathode and anions migrates towards anode. Cations migrate towards cathode and anions migrate towards anode, because cathode is negative, cation is positive. So positive ion moving towards negative electrode and anion is negative ion moving towards positive electrode. So positive ions moving towards negative electrode, negative ions moving towards positive electrode. And another important point regarding the electrolysis process is oxidation takes place at anode, reduction takes place at cathode. Here is oxidation. At anode oxidation takes place and here is reduction takes place. So in electrolytic cell, oxidation takes place at anode and reduction takes place at cathode. Next point. In electrolytic cell, oxidation takes place at anode. Oxidation takes place at anode and reduction takes place at cathode. Reaction takes place at cathode. This is the description regarding the electrolysis and electrolytic cell. Next topic, products of electrolysis. Products of electrolysis depends upon different factors. They are, the first one is the products of electrolysis depends upon nature of material being electrolyzed. So in electrolytic cell we are taking different types of electrolytes. So the products of electrolysis is depends upon nature of material what we are using in a electrolytic cell. This is the first point. The first point is the products of electrolysis depends upon the nature of material being electrolyzed. The products of electrolysis depends on first factor, the nature of material being electrolyzed. Nature of material being electrolyzed. This is the point number one. The next one is it depends upon, the products of electrolysis depends upon type of electrode used. It depends upon type of electrode. Type of electrode being used. Depends upon type of electrode being used. So generally we use two kinds of electrodes. One is inert electrode, the second one is reactive electrode. So we are taking electrode. We are taking two categories in this case. One is inert electrode. One is inert electrode and the second one is reactive electrode. Inert electrode in the sense this electrode do not involve in electrode reactions. The electrodes which do not involve in the electrode reactions. Example platinum gold. So platinum gold is the best example of inert electrodes. They do not involve in any electrode reactions. But in the case of reactive electrodes, these electrodes involve in the electrode reactions. They involve in electrode reactions. I am writing here. It do not involve in electrode reactions. Inert electrodes do not involve in electrode reactions. But in the case of reactive electrodes, it involve in electrode reactions. So type of and products of electrolysis depends upon type of electrode being used. We are using inert electrode and reactive electrode. These will also, type of electrodes will decide the what is the product formed in the electrolysis process. This is the second one. The third one is the products of electrolysis is depends upon different oxidizing and reducing species present in the electrolytic cell and their stranded electrode potential. Depends upon different oxidizing and reducing species present in the electrolytic cell and their stranded electrode potentials. Their standard electrode potential. So what are the oxidizing and reducing species present in the electrolytic cell, and their standard electrode potentials also will decide what are the products formed in the electrolysis process. So these are the different types of factors which influence the products of electrolysis. Next, let us discuss some examples for products of electrolysis. In that first example, I am taking molten NaCl. Example, NaCl in molten state. Molten NaCl. This molten NaCl we have taken a electrolytic cell. I am taking here electrolytic cell. It consists of 2 electrodes. This is the one electrode and this is another electrode. Here I am taking these electrodes are inert electrodes, platinum, and this electrode I am connecting to the positive terminal of the battery, and this electrode I am connecting to the negative terminal of the battery. The electrode connected to positive terminal we have to call as a anode. Very clear to this point. This electrode connected to negative terminal of the battery we have to call as a cathode. So anode is the positive charge, cathode is the negative charge. So in this cell we have take a molten NaCl. We are taking molten NaCl. We will get Na plus ions and Cl minus ion. Na plus is sodium ion, nothing but cation, and Cl minus is anion. Chloride ion is anion. Now if you pass the current into this molten NaCl, then cations migrate towards cathode, because the cation has the charge positive. Cation is positive. Positive ions migrate towards cathode. Cathode is in the charge is negative. Cation migrate towards the cathode and deposit here. Na plus Na sodium ion will deposit in the form of sodium on cathode. And chloride ion, Cl minus ion. Cl minus is negative charge. Negative ions migrate towards positive electrode. Positive electrode is anode is positive, negative ion is chloride ion. So anions migrate towards anode. Anion migrate towards anode. Anode is positive, anion is negative. Very important point. Then here is a chlorine gas will get discharges. Now let us write what are the product formed in this electrolysis process. By passing current into this electrolytic substance, cations migrate towards the cathode, anion migrate towards the anode. Here cation is sodium ion move towards migrate towards the cathode and deposit here. And anion is chloride ion migrate towards the anode and discharges in the form of a chlorine gas. First let us look at the reaction at the cathode. Reaction at cathode. What is the reaction taking place at cathode? Cation migrating towards cathode. Cation is what? Sodium plus ion. Na plus ion taking one electron from the cathode, that means from the source of electrical energy what we are providing through battery. So cations will take one electron from the cathode, take one electron, converting into Na, metallic form. Metal will get sodium metal. So ion, sodium plus ion converting into its metallic form, elemental form. This reaction taking place at the cathode. Next, reaction at anode. Reaction at anode. Here is Cl minus, we have anion. Cl minus ion lost one electron converting into half Cl2. Half Cl2. This is the chlorine gas. So here is Cl minus ion converting into elemental form. Here is a chlorine in the form of a gaseous state. Then what is the net reaction in this case? Net reaction. Net reaction. So how to write net reaction is and one more thing is plus one electron is there. So this one electron will get cancelled. Then we'll get Na plus we have is Cl minus. Na plus Cl minus gives rise to what the product we got is Na solid form plus we got half Cl2 in the form of a chlorine gas. So these are the products of electrolysis. What is the one product? Sodium metal is one product and another product is chlorine gas. So ions converting into their respective elements. Now another important thing is what is the process taking place is Na plus. Oxidation number is plus 1. Here is Na is elemental state 0. Plus 1 converting into 0. Oxidation number is decreased. Decrease in oxidation number is called as reduction. So sodium undergoing reduction. So reduction taking place which electrode? Cathode. Here is reduction is taking place. Reduction is taking place at cathode. And here is chlorine. Oxidation number is minus 1. Minus 1 to chlorine is oxidation number is 0. Minus 1 to 0 number is increases. Increase in oxidation number is called as oxidation. So oxidation takes place which electrode? At anode. At anode oxidation takes place, at cathode reduction takes place. Here is the process oxidation. Oxidation is taking place at anode. So these are the products of electrolysis of molten NaCl. The products of electrolysis of molten NaCl is one is sodium and another one is chlorine gas. So these are the products of electrolysis of molten NaCl. And another important point is there is a difference between the galvanic cell as well as electrolytic cell. One main difference we have taken is in galvanic cell anode is negative, cathode is positive. What I meaning is I am taking galvanic cell, understanding purpose I am drawing here. Zinc rod is dipped in zinc sulfate solution. I am taking Daniell cell example. I am drawing a rough diagram of galvanic cell. So here is a zinc rod. This is zinc rod dipped in a zinc sulfate solution. Here is a copper rod dipped in a copper sulfate solution. Zinc rod is dipped in zinc sulfate, copper rod dipped in copper sulfate solution. These through zinc rod and copper rod, these two act as electrodes. These two are externally connected by a wire through galvanometer and a switch. Internally these two electrodes are connected by a salt bridge. Already we know very well. The point is here is zinc. Zinc is anode. Zinc is anode. This anode has a negative charge, but here anode is a positive charge. Here is copper is cathode. This is cathode. Cathode is a positive charge. Cathode is positive charge and anode is negative charge. Here we are taking the anode is positive, cathode is negative on the basis of battery. We are connecting these two electrodes to the battery. The electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. The electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery is called as anode. The electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called as cathode. So these two electrodes connected to the battery. Based on that point, we are dividing these electrodes into anode and cathode. The electrode which is connected to the positive of the battery is called as anode. The electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called as cathode. I think you got what I mean is. And here process is same. At anode oxidation takes place. Here at cathode reduction takes place. Even in galvanic cell also, at anode oxidation will take place. Oxidation. Here also oxidation. Here cathode reduction will take place. Reduction. In this case at anode oxidation, here also cathode reduction. Here also anode oxidation, cathode reduction. Process is the same, oxidation reduction process same, but we are taking a sign is opposite. Anode is positive, cathode is negative. In galvanic cell, anode is negative, cathode is positive. We have to take. So this is one common difference between the electrolytic cell and a galvanic cell. Next example, aqueous NaCl. NaCl, aqueous, NaCl in water. So I am taking a electrolytic cell. In electrolytic cell I am taking 2 electrodes. Right, one electrode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, another one is negative terminal. Right, this is anode and this is cathode. So I am taking a sodium chloride solution, NaCl in aqueous state, NaCl solution. If you take the NaCl solution, this will be dissociated into Na plus ions as well as Cl minus ions. Like molten state will get Na plus ions, Cl minus ions. In addition to this Na plus Cl minus, we are taking water. The water also dissociate into their respective ends. NaCl in aqueous state dissociate into Na plus aqueous state plus Cl minus in aqueous state. So Na plus ions is there, Cl minus ions is there. In addition to this, water also liquid dissociate into H plus plus OH minus. Now when we pass the electric current to this electrolytic solution, the competition arises. Here is 2 positive ions is there. One is Na plus, another one is H plus. Here also we got 2 negative ions is there, Cl minus and OH minus. So which ion will be deposited at electrode, that is the question arises. What is my question is, if NaCl is dissolved in the water, you will get Na plus ions, Cl minus ions. In addition to this, water also dissociates into the respective ends, H plus as well as OH minus ions. Now when we pass electric current to this electrolytic solution, then there are 2 positive ions is there. Cations migrate towards cathode. Cathode is the negative, anode is the positive. Here is H plus ion is there and Na plus ion is there. H plus ion will migrate towards cathode and Na plus ions migrate towards cathode. Both cations migrate towards cathode. Now the question is, which will deposit, which will discharge at cathode? That is the question. Then, so in this case we have to take a stranded electrode potential. Based on the stranded electrode potential, so we have to write an answer. What is my point is, I am taking at cathode, first I am writing at cathode, what is the reaction? I am taking Na plus will take 1 electron from the cathode, converting into Na solid form. It's a stranded electrode potential, nothing but stranded reduction potential. This is plus to 0, number is decrease in oxidation number is called as reduction. The stranded reduction potential is minus 2.71 volts. Its standard reduction potential is minus 2.71 volts. And I am taking H plus 1 electron gives rise to half H2. The product is half H2. In this case, the stranded reduction potential, nothing electrode potential is equal to 0.0 volts. Already we know very familiar. In the standard hydrogen electrode we learned the stranded electrode potential, nothing but standard reduction potential of hydrogen is 0 volts. Now in this case Na plus has the stranded reduction potential is minus 2.71, and another one we have another cation we have the stranded reduction potential of 0 volts. So the reaction taking place at cathode, when the reaction is taking place at cathode, the ion with higher electrode potential will be favored. So this is minus 2.71, this is 0 also. Compare these two values, which is higher, this is the higher. This is higher SRP, stranded reduction potential or stranded electrode potential. So the ion with cation with higher stranded reduction potential or electrode potential discharge at cathode. Very important point. So in any case you can apply this principle only. At cathode, the cation with higher stranded reduction potential will discharge first. Then we can write the equation for cathode. What is the equation against? It is H plus 1 electron gives rise to half H2, and water is dissociating into H2O liquid form, gives rise to H plus OH minus. Then by taking this H plus cancel, H2O plus 1 electron gives rise to half H2 plus OH minus. So at while writing the equation at the cathode, this reaction we have to take. For this case, this is the net reaction. Net reaction at only this is its cathode. Now coming to the reaction at anode. Next at anode. At anode we got Cl minus. Cl minus ion will take loss one electron, then converting into half Cl2. So this is plus 1 electron. So this is the reaction taking place at anode, reaction taking place at cathode, and reaction taking place at anode. And the net overall reaction how to take is NaCl aqueous state gives rise to Na plus ions plus Cl minus ions. So this is in aqueous medium, this is also in aqueous medium. Then first we can write in reaction at cathode. So what is the reaction at cathode? We have to take this one, we have to write H2O liquid plus 2 electrons. Liquid plus 2 electrons gives rise to half H2 plus OH minus. So this is in aqueous state. This is gaseous form. This is liquid. Next at anode. What is the product at anode? Cl minus. This is from aqueous. Loss 1 electron. Here also plus 1 electron. How many wrote? 1 electron. Here is 1 electron. You will get Cl2, half Cl2 plus 1 electron. Net reaction. We have to write net reaction. What we are taking is NaCl. NaCl in aqueous state plus what we are taking H2O, isn't it? So this electron will get cancelled. This Cl minus one cancelled, here Cl minus. The remaining what we have is gives rise to, we have Na plus, and one more we have is OH minus plus OH minus. Na plus OH minus eliminated in the form of NaOH. So this is one product plus. So one more product what we have is half H2 plus half H2. This is in gaseous state. This is in aqueous medium. It is also in aqueous medium. It is liquid. Half H2 is another product plus one more what we have is half Cl2 in gaseous state. So these are the product formed in electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. What are the products formed in aqueous NaCl? One product is sodium hydroxide. One product is sodium hydroxide in aqueous state, one product. And one product is half H2 in the form of gaseous state. And then one product is half Cl2 in gaseous state. If you take the molten aqueous NaCl aqueous. If you take the NaCl aqueous, the products are NaOH, half H2 and half Cl2, half H2 and half Cl2. If you take molten, understanding purpose I am writing, already we discussed molten NaCl. What is the product? One is sodium and another one is half Cl2. Look at the products of molten NaCl different from products of aqueous NaCl. Aqueous NaCl, one product is sodium hydroxide, one product is hydrogen gas, and product is chlorine gas. If you take molten state, only two products we got. One product is sodium and one product is chlorine gas. So these are the products of electrolysis of aqueous NaCl and molten NaCl. Next topic is batteries. Batteries are defined as two or more galvanic cells are connected in a series are called as batteries. Batteries are defined as two or more galvanic cells are connected in a series are called batteries. Batteries are used to generate electricity, and in batteries chemical energy converted into electrical energy. The example for the batteries is batteries from automobiles, or you can take battery from wall clocks, or you can take battery from our watches. In all these cases chemical energy converted into electrical energy. Now let us read the definition of battery. Two or more galvanic cells are connected. Two or more galvanic cells are connected in a series are called batteries. Batteries are used to generate, next point, batteries are used to generate electricity. Batteries are used to generate electricity. Next point, in batteries chemical energy converted into electrical energy. In batteries chemical energy converted into electrical energy. Classification of batteries. Batteries classified into two types. They are, the first one is primary batteries, the second one is secondary batteries. Next point, batteries are two types. They are first one is primary batteries. Second one is secondary batteries. First let us discuss about primary batteries. The primary batteries are used to over a period of time and the battery become dead. Primary batteries are the batteries which can be used over a period of time. After that the battery become dead, and that battery cannot be reused. Such batteries we have to call as primary batteries. Example, battery present in our watches, it is a primary battery. After use of over a period of time the battery become dead. This battery we cannot reuse again. Such type of batteries we are calling as a primary batteries. You can take battery from wall clocks. In that wall clock we have battery. That battery also comes under primary battery. So once we use of that battery, the battery become dead. We cannot reuse it again. So that is an example of primary batteries. The primary batteries are the batteries after use of over a period of time the battery become dead. They cannot be reused again. So those are primary batteries. Example for the primary batteries is dry cell and mercury cell. Example of primary batteries is dry cell and mercury cell. Next, coming to the secondary batteries. The secondary batteries are which can be recharged by passing electric current through them, and we can reuse it again and again. So secondary batteries are the batteries in which we can pass electric current through them. In secondary batteries we can pass electric current through them, we can recharge it. The secondary batteries which can be recharged by passing electric current through them, and we can use it again and again. So these all comes under secondary batteries. Example for the secondary batteries is you can take nickel cadmium cell. So nickel cadmium cell is an example of secondary battery. Or you can take batteries from the automobiles. We have lead storage battery. That lead storage battery also comes under secondary batteries. Secondary batteries we can reuse again, but primary batteries, once battery is over, the battery become dead, we cannot reuse it again. So let us write the description regarding the primary and the secondary batteries. First I am writing primary batteries. Primary batteries primary batteries after use of over a period of time, after use of over a period of time, battery become dead, and it cannot be reused. Again, it cannot be reused again. Example for the primary batteries, you can take dry cell. Example for the primary batteries, dry cell, and you can take a mercury cell. Dry cell and a mercury cell. The second one is secondary batteries. Secondary batteries. These are the cells which can be these are cells, that means secondary cells which can be recharged, by passing electric current, through them, and can be used again and again. They can be used again and again. Example for the secondary batteries, we can take a lead storage battery. And another example is nickel cadmium cell, nickel cadmium battery or nickel cadmium cell. So this is the primary and secondary batteries. Next, mercury cell. Mercury cell is an example of primary batteries. It is an example of primary batteries. In that point number 1, in mercury cell, zinc mercury amalgam can act as a anode, and the paste of HGO and carbon can act as a cathode. Let us read the statement regarding it. First one, in mercury cell, zinc amalgam can acts as anode. This is the point number 1. Point number 2, the paste of HGO and carbon can act as a cathode. Next point, in mercury cell, the paste of KOH and ZnO, can be used as a electrolyte. The paste of KOH and ZnO used as an electrolyte. And next one is the electrode reactions of the cell. The electrode reactions of the cell. First I am taking at anode. An anode, what we are taking? Zinc mercury amalgam, ZnHg plus 2OH minus gives rise to ZnO plus H2O plus 2 electrons, and reaction at cathode. Reaction at cathode. HgO plus H2O plus 2 electrons gives rise to Hg plus 2OH minus. Hg plus 2OH minus. Next, overall reaction. Overall reaction. So 2OH minus 2OH will cancel. Then H2OH will cancel. 2 electrons will cancel. Then what you have is Zn Hg plus HgO. Zn Hg plus HgO gives rise to, will get ZnO plus Hg. So this is the overall reaction for mercury cell. This is mercury cell. Next, nickel cadmium cell. In nickel cadmium cell, cadmium can act as a anode and NiO2 can act as a cathode. The first one is in nickel cadmium cell. In nickel cadmium cell, cadmium can acts as anode. The next point is NiO2 can acts as a cathode. NiO2 can act as a cathode, and the moist NaOH is used as a electrolyte. Moist NaOH is used as a electrolyte. Next, the electrode reactions. Electrode reactions for the cell. Electrode reactions for the cell is cadmium plus NiOH taken thrice. Cadmium plus 2 NiOH taken thrice gives rise to CDO plus NiOH taken twice. 2 NiOH taken twice plus H2O. So this is the electrode reactions for the cell. This is a cadmium cell.